A service of KIBMradio.com, the Internet's home for an all old-time radio.
Presented by the United States Armed Forces Radio Service.
Tonight we present The Pursued, a drama based on a teaching from the greatest life ever lived. The town of Gabara in Galilee is remote from both the sea and the great caravan routes. So a man seeking privacy and seclusion, a man who might be trying to hide, would select Gabara as a place to live. Such a man is Silas. And even now he is watching as the carpenter works diligently on the door of his new house.
There, now, that should do. Hey, Silas?
Try the bolt. Slip it into place.
Yes, of course. No trouble there. Look. You see, Silas? Works perfectly.
Let me try it.
Fine, isn't it?
Do you think it's strong enough, Nathan?
Strong enough? What are you expecting, an attack from enemy legion? What's the matter with you, Silas?
Now, see here, Nathan, you're only a carpenter. You have no right to cross-question me.
Pardon me, sir. But as to your question, this bolt is strong enough to resist the usual use to which a door might be put. But if you've some special danger in mind...
I don't know what you're talking about. Now, if you've finished your work, you're free to go.
Of course. Well, I wish you the best of good fortune here in your new house, and my best wishes to your wife also. You'll tell her, won't you?
Yes, I'll tell her. Now, get out.
Yes, sir.
Done. Rhoda.
Yes? You want something?
Rhoda, it's finally done. He won't find us here. And even if he does, we're strong behind this door and these walls. Nothing can happen now.
I hope you're right. 4 times. 4 times we've picked up, moved away, left home and friends and places we grew to know and love. All because of that man.
This is the last time, I promise you.
You said that before?
Oh, look, dear, this town is far from the sea, far from the usual caravan routes. We'd never think to look for us here.
I hope so. I hope so.
Oh, Rhoda, you have to be strong. You have to face this thing.
Face it? I'm willing to face it. But you're not. How long will we have to flee from this man? Why can't you face him once and for all?
And be killed?
Would he do that to you?
You don't know. You've never seen him. I tell you, Uriah is a man who would kill.
So we have to flee from place to place. Every time there's word he's seeking you. We can never have a home. Never.
We have a home now.
Home? No. Place to live for a little while. Till you hear he's come again. Then we'll flee like criminals. What are you afraid of, Silas? Why haven't you ever told me?
Shh, my dear, please.
What happened between you two? Silas, I'm waiting.
Rhoda, there are men who are good men, strong men. And yet in one moment of sudden terror, something happens. A man acts in a way he never would expect.
What did you do, Silas?
There'd been a storm. The boat was destroyed. Uriah and we were able to grasp a piece of the wreckage. For 2 whole days and nights we drifted. He was hurt and growing weaker. And then on the 3rd morning there was land far off on the horizon. The tide was with us, but I knew it would change. I could reach that land if I started to swim at once. And alone.
You left him?
Why should I give my life to save a man who was as good as dead?
I see.
No, I don't think you do. You didn't hear his frantic call as I swam off. Silas, I'll kill you for this. I'll kill you. I never forgot it. I can still hear it.
How did he?
A boat picked him up later that day. I saw him once that night. He was too weak to move. But he looked up at me with his hollow, staring, hateful eyes, and he whispered something in a hoarse voice. All he said was, "I'll find you one day, Silas."
And you never saw him again?
No, never. But he shows up everywhere sooner or later, and I begin running again. But not this time. Oh, no. No, not this time. We're here for good.
Maybe it isn't Uriah you're running from, but yourself.
No.
Please, Silas, would you come to hear the Master with me? He can cure your kind of fear if you let him.
We're here, safe, secure, isolated. He'll never find us. That's all we need.
I hope so.
But you don't think so? Do you, Rhoda?
Do you, Silas?
You see, my dear, 2 whole months and things have gone well. There's nothing to fear anymore. Nothing.
Yet I notice you haven't forgotten.
What do you mean?
It's on your mind all the time. You talk about it every day. Is that what you mean by things have gone well?
Well, you don't expect me to forget about it.
You could if you repented and were forgiven.
Oh, that again. The Master can't help. No, there's only one man who can forgive me. And he never will. Now, I'd rather not talk about it anymore.
Yes, Silas.
I'm going to the town this morning to buy some things we need. If you want anything...
I want nothing that can be bought.
Please, Rhoda. I didn't mean to hurt your feelings. But the Master can't help me. If he could, I'd go to see him.
Can you lose anything by trying?
I don't know.
Then do it for me.
Maybe. I can't promise, but maybe if he ever comes here to Gabara.
We can find out in town today. I'll go with you.
All right, then hurry. Please, Rhoda, how many times do I have to tell you I don't like to spend too much time here in the marketplace? We can't make ourselves too conspicuous.
I'm only asking people if the Master will be here soon.
Oh, all right, then. I shall be at that stall buying some oil for the lamps. Meet me there when you've found out.
Yes, Silas, and it won't be long.
Good day, sir. You seek something? I have nothing but the best of oils and spices here. Of course, I have some stranger here, aren't you?
Yes. Now, about the oil.
You live around here?
What business is that of yours?
None. If you ask that way. It's just that we like to be friendly hereabout. To friendly people, that is.
Oh, I'm sorry.
How much oil do you want?
Enough to fill that crock there.
Of course. There. 1 coin will pay for it.
Yes, of course.
Say, what's the matter with you? Why do you look around that way? Are you afraid of something?
Here's your coin. Now, let me go.
Of course. Your oil, here.
Let me have it. Can't you see it? Hey, you see? You made me drop it.
I didn't know how afraid you were.
You made me do it. You didn't hand it to me right.
Shaking like a leaf in a strong wind. Look at your hands, man. What's the matter with you?
Nothing. Just let me alone.
Hey, come back here. I want to give you another crock of oil.
I don't know what happened, Rhoda. He said something. My hand shook. The crock fell. I don't know.
Please, Silas, try to calm yourself.
Well, the worst of it is over.
I found out.
What?
The master will be coming here to Gabara within the week.
Oh.
He said you'd go with him.
I said I might.
Surely after what's just happened, you must know that your fear is doing terrible things to you.
Yes. Yes, you're right. I'll go. And Rhoda, you will never know how I appreciate the way you've tried to help me. How patient you've been. Yes, for your sake, I shall ask the Master for help.
The little boy, did you see? He was able to walk again after the master spoke to him.
Yes. And the way his mother wept. To think I'd put off coming here to see the master. All this is a revelation to me. A revelation. Yes.
Silas, the master's looking at you. Waiting to hear your plea.
Yes. Yes. Master, what I have seen this day with my own eyes transcends anything I have ever heard. The sick healed. The lame whole and strong. But, Master, can you heal those sick from fear? For fear is with me every waking moment and in my dreams. Fear because of a sin I committed against a man. He will come one day, and he will kill me. I know it, and I'm afraid. Master, what shall I do?
I say unto you, be not afraid of them that kill the body, and after that have no more that they can do.
Shall I not fear death itself, Master? What else is there to fear?
I will forewarn you whom ye shall fear. Fear him which after he hath killed hath power to cast into hell. Yea, I say unto you, fear him.
Today, my dear, no trembling hands. I shall go back to that merchant and Buy that oil we need like a man unafraid of anything or anybody.
That's the way to feel, my dear.
I tell you, when I heard his words, I knew he was right. After all, if a man is going to be fearful, there are so many things he can fear. Fear itself will destroy him. I know that now.
How good it is to hear you talk this way, Silas.
And now, my dear, I must be off to the marketplace with the oil and other things. And this time I shall bring them all back.
Well, sir, back again?
Yes. And this time I want a crock of oil and some other things.
Say, let me look at you.
What is it? Why do you look at me that way?
I don't know if you're the man or not.
What man? What are you talking about?
He said you were about as tall as I.
He said? Who?
That man who was here this morning.
What man? When was he here?
I told you this morning.
This man. Was he tall?
Yes, tall, gaunt.
And his face was it dark? Thin?
Yes, with eyes that peered out searchingly.
And the way he walked?
That's it. I was trying to remember what it was that I noticed about him as he left here. It was his walk.
Like a seafaring man?
And that's it exactly.
And he's here. He's here at last.
What's the matter, man?
Nothing.
The color's going out of your face and you're trembling again.
Listen to me, please, if you want to save a man's life. If this man returns, tell him that you've never seen anyone who looks like me. You don't know my name. You don't know anything. Tell him that.
All right.
Don't tell him I live here. You understand?
What's the matter with that man?
Silas, I was.
You fool.
Fool for greeting a man in the market square? Now, see here, that's no way to talk.
I'm sorry, Nathan. Just don't shout my name that way. And now I'd like to stop and chat with you, but I must hurry.
Oh, that's too bad. I had something to tell you.
Well, it'll have to wait.
I hope it can wait. He seemed pretty anxious.
What? What did you say?
The man seemed pretty anxious to find you, Silas.
Man? Tell me, was he tall, gaunt, thin-faced?
Yes.
Look, if you talk to him again, you're to tell him that you've never heard of me, never saw me. I don't live in this town. Do you understand?
Oh, I couldn't do that.
Look, this one time, please. If you could save a man's life by not telling the truth just once, you'd do it, wouldn't you?
Yes, but I can't do this because when he spoke to me, identified you, I told him you did live here.
Oh, no.
I'm sorry. I didn't know.
I must get home at once. At once. There's not a moment to lose.
Silas, what is it?
There's no time to talk. On the windows. Put up the shutters. Fix them tightly. I must close the door and bolt it. There. And on the windows.
What happened, Silas? You left here so calm.
Please, my dear, no questions. Nothing until we're safe. Absolutely safe.
Oh, dear, I'll do what I can.
Safely protected.
Silas, can you tell me now?
My dear, it's happened. The day I have feared so long, it's here. He's here.
You're right?
Yes.
Oh, Silas.
He's caught up with me at last.
Yes. Silas.
Yes, dear.
The way you felt this morning, strong and sure. What's happened to you?
I don't know. I was strong. The Master's words did give me courage. Till I heard Uriah was here. Then I was helpless and afraid again. Or other.
such hopes yesterday. Silas, listen to me. The master said not to...
It's him.
How do you know?
It must be.
You have to ask who it is.
Maybe if we don't answer, he'll think we've gone.
Silas! Silas, I want to see you.
That's his voice. The voice that called out to me, I'll kill you. The voice that said, I'll find you one day. There's no doubt anymore.
Silas, open, let me in. I have to see you. I know you're there, I know it.
Well, Silas?
He won't go away. He won't leave here until he's killed me. Well, there's only one way.
Silas, what are you going to do?
Get me a knife.
No, Silas, you wouldn't.
Why not? If it's got to be one of us, as far as I'm concerned, it'll have to be Uriah.
Silas, I say let me in. I followed you a long time, to many places, and now I must see you, once and for all.
There. Yeah, you heard, Rhoda. Now get me the knife.
No.
You want me to be killed?
I want you to stand here and face it. As the master said, not fearing anything but God's judgment.
Then I'll get the knife myself.
I'll break down that door, Silas. I'm not determined. I tell you, I'll break it down.
All right. I'm ready for him, Rhoda.
Silas, please, put away that knife.
No. All right, Uriah. I'm ready now. I'll open the door for you.
Silas, please. Out of your fear, you're going to kill a man. I ask you not to. Please. Please be strong. Be brave this one time. Face him without that knife.
I can't, Rhoda. I can't.
Silas, I'm waiting.
No, Silas, don't. If you open the door now with that knife in your hand, you'll be sorry for the rest of your life.
What can I do?
If I mean anything to you at all, if you believe that I want only what's right for you, if you believe that, then bear the master's words in mind now. Don't fear Uriah because he can harm you. Open that door and greet him without the knife. This one time, don't be afraid.
But all right, Rhoda. This one time. Even though it be my last time. There.
Silas, I'm waiting.
All right, Uriah. Stand back, Rhoda.
Yes, Silas. Go ahead.
Well, Uriah, here I am. Silas. I've looked for you a long time. I know. Well, I haven't forgotten what happened, Silas. Have you? Oh, no. And I'm ready for you now. What? What are you going to do?
What I followed you all this way to do.
I warn you, Uriah, you'll be punished for this. They know. I've told them you came here to try to kill me.
To kill you, Silas? No. No, is that what you thought? You mean you've been running from me all this time?
But what you said, that you'd find me, that you'd kill me.
Yes, I remember that well. I'll never forget the hatred I felt for you. And in a way, that is why I'm here.
If you didn't come to revenge yourself, why are you here?
At first, I did set out to find you for that reason. Then, I met the Master, heard him speak, and I knew my hatred for you was a crime against him and against God. I wanted to follow him, spend my life serving him. I couldn't. Not till I've done as he said. Judge not, and ye shall not be judged. Condemn not, and ye shall not be condemned. Forgive, and you shall be forgiven. That's why I'm here, Silas. To face you. To say, I forgive you for what you did. To know once and for all that I don't hate you any longer. And to ask one thing. Yes. That you forgive me for having hated you as I did. I forgive you, Uriah. Then I'm free to go back and follow him now.
I thank you, Silas. I thank you very much. I can go now. Wait, Uriah. You could stay a while and have the evening meal with us? No, thank you. I must hurry to find the master. I hear he passed this way only yesterday. Did you know that? Yes, Uriah. How well I know that. Then I must hurry. Farewell, Silas. God be with you. There he goes, Rhoda. And I'm still alive. Oh, what a fool I've been. I've been eluding him, running from him. And he only wanted to seek forgiveness and offer it.
There's nothing as horrible as you'd imagine. Was it, Silas?
No, my dear. And the price we've paid for my fear. It made of us wanderers without a home, made me flee from forgiveness. Oh, but not any longer. All that's changed now. I shall never be afraid again of the dangers that threaten my life. For having seen what the Master has done to rid Uriah of his hatred, I know I can be rid of my fear by following in his way and his words.
Be not afraid of them that kill the body, and after that have no more that they can do. I will forewarn you whom ye shall fear. Fear him which after he hath killed hath power to cast into hell. Yea, I say unto you, fear him.
Been listening to The Pursued, another episode in the greatest story ever told from the greatest life ever lived. The Greatest Story Ever Told was a presentation of the United States Armed Forces Radio Service, the voice of information and education.
The Greatest Story Ever Told.
Presented by the United States Armed Forces Radio Service.
Tonight we present The Reward is Great, a drama based on a teaching from the greatest life ever lived. In the town of Capernaum, one man is spoken of in the highest terms. The name people have given him is Cyrus the Just, and his good deeds are well known. Now at his place of business in the market square, Cyrus looks up at his clerk, who waits expectantly for his attention.
Well, David, you've something on your mind?
I do, Cyrus, but there's a man waiting outside to see you.
Oh?
It's Samson.
Samson. Oh, him.
But before you talk to him, sir, I have a question I'd like to ask.
Well, go on. Ask. After all, didn't I tell you? I want you to learn as much about my business as possible. I'm expecting great things from you, David.
But that's the point. This isn't about business.
Well, don't be so hesitant. No need to stand on ceremony with me. What is it, David?
Well, tomorrow the master will be coming here to Capernaum. My wife and I, we've always taken our boy to hear him before. We'd like to do that this time, too.
Why, of course. You may have as much time tomorrow as you wish.
Oh, thank you, sir. It's no wonder the people call you Cyrus the Just.
Well, now, no need to say things like that.
And now, sir, Samson, he's waiting to see you. Shall I send him in?
Send him in? No. Bring him in. I'm not mistaken. This is one lesson you had better learn very early in our association together. So have him in.
Yes, sir. Samson, would you come in now?
Thank you. Sir, Cyrus.
Yes, my good man?
Well, must I state my business before others? It's of a private nature.
I have no secrets from David. Well?
I came here hoping that you could see your way clear to lending me some money.
Ah, very strangely put.
I don't know how to ask, sir, if that's what you mean.
Take the words you used. You hoped I could see my way clear to lending you some money. Well, I'd have to be blind to see that.
What are you talking about?
I'd have to be blind to the fact that you're neither. A useless man who has been the scandal of this town for several years now. No more than a beggar.
Please, Cyrus, you don't understand.
Well, my good man, point out to me the errors of my thinking.
No, it's true I've been worthless the past few years. But when a man suffers a great loss, it takes time to recover. Don't any of you remember the kind of man I was before my wife died?
We remember much better how you've been acting more recently.
But it isn't for myself, it's for my child.
Please, Samson, I think you've used up all the time I can spare.
No, wait, you can't do this. I'm sorry. But, Cyrus, when your own daughter looks up at you and says, Father, you can't be what everybody says you are, then you realize how far you've fallen. So I decided I can be good and useful again. And if I could borrow some money and start up a small business again, then my daughter wouldn't be ashamed of me. And you wouldn't lose anything by it. I'd pay you back with interest.
That's very touching. But I'm afraid you'll find no help here.
Please, Cyrus, you must understand.
Will you please go?
David, you. It isn't much that I ask. You might lend it to me if you want to.
Well, I think perhaps that I...
David, show the man to the door and remain here.
Yes, Cyrus.
Please, David.
Samson, get out.
Yes.
Well, David, I can see there's more than a little puzzlement on your face. All right. Out with it.
Well, Cyrus, I never really expected... I mean that...
Cyrus the Just? Friend to all? Is that what you mean?
Yes, sir. And if ever a man needed help...
David, there's one thing about my affairs I want you to learn now. The lending of money is not determined by the need. It's determined by what lending can do for me.
Oh, I see.
Lend money? Of course. To those who can repay. Not only the money, not only the interest, but with favors as well. And it's those favors which account for both my success and my reputation as a kind man. Now, what favor could this seedy, irresponsible Samson ever do for me?
I hadn't thought of things that way.
Oh, I know this must be a shock to you. But you'll get used to it. And you'll come to like it. Here, hold out your hand.
Yes, sir?
Let me empty this purse into your hand. There. Feel those coins? Hard, solid, cold metal. Yet they can purchase warmth, food, luxury, anything a man desires. Remember that. Never speak lightly of money. It's the best friend a man can have, if he uses it right. Don't forget that. Now, go back to your work.
Well, David, there's something on your mind this evening, isn't there?
Why, no, Rebecca.
You didn't get permission to go to hear the master tomorrow?
Cyrus said it would be all right.
Then is it because Joshua was playing at the pit outside the town wall again? Is it that?
I didn't enjoy finding out he disobeyed me. After all, that pit is a dangerous place.
I know. I've warned him more than once. Now what's troubling you? You still refuse to talk about it.
A man turned to me for help today, and I refused him.
You refused help to another man? No, David, not you.
But I did. It was Samson.
Oh. Yes, he's a very unfortunate man. And his daughter, Sarah... You know that child goes hungry almost all the time.
She does? How do you know?
Joshua brings her here sometimes in the afternoon. The children play together often. I invent excuses to feed her.
It's as Samson said, he wanted the money for the girl's sake. But Cyrus said no, and maybe Cyrus was right. Maybe Samson never would pay it back. Certainly he couldn't do any favors for anyone.
Dave, you talking that way.
Must seem strange. Just as strange as it did to me when I found out about Cyrus.
Found out what?
That he's not the kind, generous man we've all been led to believe. Cyrus the Just. He's just to no one but himself.
David, whatever you found out about Cyrus, surely it shouldn't change your way of life, our way of life. Else what good is our going to hear the master, taking Joshua with us, if he didn't do the opposite?
I know. But Cyrus seems to have the proof on his side. He's successful, well-regarded, Cyrus the Just.
David, if you really believed that, you wouldn't even be worrying about Samson and his daughter now, would you?
I guess that's right. I don't know what to do.
We're going to hear the master tomorrow morning. Why not wait till then? Surely in something he says, you'll find the way that will put you at peace with yourself.
All right, tomorrow. We'll see.
And, Father, did you know there were more people here today than the last time? Did you notice that?
Yes, Joshua, I noticed.
Please, Joshua, your father has something on his mind.
Have you, Father? What is it?
Nothing for children to worry about.
I saw Cyrus, too, David.
You did?
Yes. And I noticed how he made sure to pass through the entire crowd so that everyone would see he was here.
Yes, this will enhance his reputation as Cyrus the Just. And it's not right, not fair to give everyone the impression that he's so fine and charitable.
David, look. The master's about to speak now.
If ye do good to them which do good to you, what thank have ye? For sinners also do even the same.
That's true, Rebecca. I never thought of that before. It's easy to be good to those who are good to us.
Wait, David. He speaks again.
And if ye lend to them of whom ye hope to receive, what thank have ye? For sinners also lend to sinners to receive as much again. But love your enemies and do good, and lend, hoping for nothing again. And your reward shall be great, and ye shall be the children of the highest.
David, what is it? Where are you going?
I've heard enough to be ashamed of myself. To think that Cyrus could have made me forget the master's way. I must go.
No. In the midst of the teaching.
You can't right or wrong too quickly. You and the boy remain here. I have something I must do.
Come in. Well, David, what do you want here?
Samson, I'm here to help you if you'll let me.
Help? What kind of help? Have you brought stale bread for my daughter to eat? Or was there too much meat cooked at your house today?
Oh, it's nothing like that, Samson, and I don't blame you for being bitter.
Is that what you came to tell me?
No. The money you wish to borrow. How much did you want?
What difference does it make?
Well, I want to lend it to you.
Even after what Cyrus said?
What Cyrus said confused me for a little while only. But I believe you when you say you want to make good again for the girl's sake. And I believe that you can do it, too.
David, Well, no one has said anything like that to me since Miriam died. She used to believe, used to have confidence in me. I'll show them all. I'll make good on this money. I promise no matter what happens, you won't lose the money because of me.
I know you'll do your best, Samson. Now, how much?
Would 50 pieces be too much?
50? I'll have to arrange for that much, Samson. But you shall have your 50.
Thank you, David. You're a good man, a really good man. You don't know what you're doing for me.
After all, don't I have a child of my own?
David, I'm surprised at you.
Please, Cyrus, I don't ask you to judge my action. Only tell me, will you lend me the 25 extra pieces of silver I need to help Samson?
Education comes high, but sometimes it's worth it. David, I shall let you have the money you ask for.
Thank you.
Thank me? Why, you fool. I'm doing this to teach you a lesson. Take the money, lend it to Samson, and then learn that it never pays.
You don't think he'll make good?
I think when you give him the money, you'll have made an enemy instead of a friend. We'll see if I'm right.
Then I can have the money now?
Yes, but remember, his failure to pay you back will be no reason for you not to pay me. But I'll wager you've lost a friend with this loan. And so, David, you've just seen a practical demonstration of what a favor to the right man can mean, haven't you?
I suppose so. After all, Zedekiah enabled you to make a handsome profit. Yet he could have given the opportunity to anyone else.
Exactly. And I must figure out a way to do Zedekiah another favor very soon again. As they say, one hand washes the other.
I suppose so.
Well, look who's coming this way.
Who do you... Oh, it's Samson.
Yes, your trusted friend. Tell me, have you heard anything from him since you lent him the money?
Why, no, but then if he's been busy, he'd have no time to come calling.
And has he repaid any of the debt so far?
No, but I'm confident that he will.
Working so hard, and yet having nothing to show for it. Not even able to make a small payment on an honest debt. Oh, you pick your debtors very wisely indeed, David. When we meet him, I shall ask about... Oh, look at that.
Yes, but you're mistaken, Cyrus.
Am I? Then why did you get the same impression? The instant Samson saw us, he turned into another street.
Perhaps he had business there.
Perhaps. We'll find out. Come. There he is, hurrying down this street. Call to him, David.
No.
Go on, call to him. Or are you afraid of facing the truth? The man's made a fool of you.
All right. I'll prove it to you. Samson. Samson. Samson.
Well, you proved something. Although not quite what you'd hoped to prove, eh?
I wouldn't have believed it.
Well, I'm glad you've learned your lesson, David. Even if it did cost you 50 pieces. Now come along with me.
What's that woman screaming about?
I don't know.
She said something about children. Maybe it has something to do with my son Joshua.
She's hysterical. Forget it.
The children. Lord alone knows how many of them may have been trapped. Oh, help. Quickly.
What did you say? Trapped? Where? How? Which children?
Oh, the children outside the town wall. There was a landslide.
Landslide? What are you talking about? Woman, listen to me. Speak to me. Where? What happened?
The pit. The pit outside the town wall. The children were playing there.
The pit? Children? Joshua!
The earth around the edge gave way. It slid down into the pit. There may be children down there now. Oh, help, everyone, help!
Come quickly! Every able-bodied man, come! The children. Has anyone counted the children? Are they all safe?
3 were pulled out. Mordecai's lad and Samson's daughter and the widow's boy. Those 3 we saved.
The others? Were there any others down there?
Who knows?
But we've got to know. My son Joshua, did any of you see him? Well, did you?
We don't know, David.
Where are the others? Samson's daughter, where's she?
Where's the girl? Here she is.
Sarah, dear. Now listen to me. My son Joshua, you know Joshua. Was he down there? Was he?
Sir,
Now look, my dear, this is no time for tears. Just tell me. Was he with you when the earth slid into the pit?
please, sir. He didn't mean to do anything wrong. I know you warned him.
Was he there?
Yes, sir.
Oh, no. And he must be. I'll find him.
No, David, you can't do that.
What do you mean I can't do that, my son?
It means death to you, too.
I don't care.
I tell you, when we were rescuing the others, the land began to slide again. Earth and rock and sand. It's a death trap for any man now. There'll be another slide.
I'm going down there. I have to.
We can't let you.
Let go of me. Take your hands off of me.
Someone help me restrain him. The man's mad.
I've got to find him. I've got to.
David, come back.
What's happening? What's going on here?
David's just gone down into the pit. The fool, he'll be killed along with his son.
David? Down there?
Yes, the land will slide again. I warned him.
Wait. Let's not lose our head. Stand back, all of you. Don't get too near the edge of the pit. That would only make the land more apt to slide. Stand back. Yes, that's better. David! David, can you hear me down there? Are you all right?
I'm all right. I'm digging.
All right, David. We'll do what we can up here. Someone get a length of rope. Go on, hurry. Don't just stand there. We'll need it to bring them up.
Bring who up? The boy? He'll never find the boy.
Do as I say.
All right, Cyrus. We'll get
boy. Now, if we can bring them up, they'll both...
Joshua!
Please, Rebecca. You can do nothing here now. The boy's down there, but David's found them. We'll bring them up very soon.
Joshua!
Shush now. We'll have a rope soon and they'll both be returned.
My boy. Is he all right?
Please, my dear, we won't know till later. Where's that rope?
Coming now.
Good. David! David, it won't be long now. We have the rope. We'll bring you up.
I told him it couldn't be done.
David!
Come now, my dear. No need to despair yet. We'll get them both out of there. Men! The boy and his father are down there. It's our duty to help them. Who'll volunteer?
Two are lost. Is that any reason to risk other lives? More men digging around that pit will make it a death trap for all of them. I warned David. I told him the land wouldn't hold.
This is no time for excuses or arguments. Who'll help? What about you, Cyrus? An old man like me can't do any good now. If I were younger...
Then talk is cheap.
It isn't just talk. I think very highly of David. I'd do anything to see him safe. I'll offer 50 pieces of silver to the men who go down there. Well, will no one volunteer now? 100 pieces then. 150.
There's not enough money in the world to make a man risk his life in such a gamble. It's death, I tell you, death.
Please. Won't anyone help? My husband, my son, down there dying at this moment. And no one will lift a hand. I can't offer money. I can't offer anything but a mother's plea. Is there no one? No one.
Rebecca, I just heard about it. I came here as quickly as I could. Is it your son? Your husband?
Yes. Yes, Samson.
Does anyone have a rope?
Yes, but it'll do no
said, does anyone have a rope?
Yes, but it'll do no good if the earth shifts again, Sam.
Give me the rope. And 2 men to hold it up here. I'll go down into the pit. Aren't there even 2 men brave enough to stand at the edge of this pit? Aren't there?
All right, I will.
And I. Then give me the rope.
Here it is.
Now, tie it around me. There. Hold fast to this end. Let me down into the pit slowly.
David! David, can you hear me? I'm coming after you, David! David!
He hasn't called up to us, Cyrus.
Don't worry. He's busy working, digging in the earth to find them.
Only God is willing that they be saved.
We mustn't lose hope, my dear.
Ready, Samson! Tie them to the rope! We'll bring them up!
Bring them up? But he didn't say...
Rebecca, wait. Stay away from the edge of the pit.
Samson! Samson! Are they alive?
Yes, Rebecca. Most of them.
They must recover. If only to let me clear my conscience with David.
You risked your life. You've done enough.
You don't understand. Earlier today, I saw him in the marketplace. I deliberately avoided him.
We know.
Oh, I see. Well, it's because I couldn't face him and tell him that I haven't the money to pay him back yet. But I will have it.
I found out that there are things not measured in money, Samson. I guess you can't buy friendship or loyalty or courage with those hard, cold coins I put so much faith in.
Samson, Cyrus, David wants to talk to you now.
Samson, is that you?
Yes, David.
Rebecca told me what you did. Risked your life for us.
Someone had to do it.
No, Samson.
I found that out. No one had to. No one else did. Even for the money I offered. I began to understand something. There are some things money cannot buy. Human life is one of them. Goodness is another. For by doing good, by giving of ourselves, we enlarge our capacity to receive God's blessings. Yes, as I stood at that pit, I said quite sorrowfully to myself, who'd risk his life for me if all I have to give him in return is money?
In that day when we heard the Master, Cyrus, you should have listened and understood, instead of being there just to be seen by others. For his were great words.
If ye do good to them which do good to you, what thank have you? For sinners also do even the same. But love your enemy, and do good, and lend, hoping for nothing again. And your reward shall be great, and ye shall be the children of the highest.
You have been listening to The Reward is Great, another episode in the greatest story ever told from the greatest life ever lived. The greatest story ever told was the presentation of the United States Armed Forces Radio Service, the voice of information and education.
The greatest story ever told.
Presented by the United States Armed Forces Radio Service.
Tonight we present A Blade from Damascus, a drama based on a teaching from the greatest life ever lived. Through the streets of one town in northern Galilee, A young lad hurries eagerly, as though searching for something or someone. Past the small, crowded houses of the poor section of town he goes, and then his eyes light up as he spies the object of his search. And breaking into a run, he cries out,
Jonathan! Jonathan, I've been looking for you. Where were you all day? Here, near the house. I didn't want to come over to your house today. I thought, well, with your father coming home, maybe you'd rather I weren't there. Why not? Well, Tell me, Daniel, didn't your father ever say anything? Why should he say anything? I mean about me. Maybe he wouldn't want someone dressed as poorly as me in your fine home. My father would never even think about it. I'm not so sure. My mother, well, she says that older people think about things like that. But I tell you, it isn't so. Look, do you know why I'm here now? No. My father sent me here to look for you. He's brought you a gift, too. Me? Yes, I told you. When he returns from a journey, he always brings gifts. For Mother, for me, and this time one for you, too. That's why I want you to come back with me. I told him I wouldn't accept my gift unless we both got ours at the same time. Will you come with me? Why, if you want me to, sure. Well, then come on. Hurry.
Well, Daniel, I see you found it. How do you do, Jonathan? How have you been?
What? Very well, sir. And did you have a good journey?
Very fine, thank you. And now that you two friends are together, I can give you both your gifts. Jonathan, I brought you this gift not only because my son regards you as his best friend, but also because I think you're a fine lad. Here.
Thank you, sir. Oh, go on, Jonathan. Open it. I want to see it. Yes, of course. There. There it is. A pair of leather sandals. Oh, very fine, Jonathan. Yes, they are. I want to thank you very much. They're quite nice.
I'm glad you like them. And now, Daniel, for you. Something I found in the marketplace in Damascus. Something to be treasured very highly. Here, son.
Oh, dagger in a fine silver scabbard. Oh, it's wonderful, Father.
It was the fine etching on the scabbard that attracted me to it. True, the blade is of finest Damascus steel, but this is not to be looked upon as a weapon of destruction, but as a fine piece of craftsmanship. It's to be admired, not used.
Not used? At all?
Not now. When you grow older, you will be better capable of handling it carefully. Meanwhile, it remains here in the house at all times. Do you understand?
Yes. Oh, it is beautiful, isn't it, Jonathan? Yes, it is. I wish... Well, it's very nice. May I hold it for a moment? Why, of course. Here. I've never seen anything like this. Never. Just look at the blade. The sharpness of it. The way it glints in the light. I think that more than anything, I'd like to have a fine dagger like this.
And perhaps one day you will, Jonathan.
Yes. One day I can. Here, Daniel. I have to go now. Oh, Jonathan. Well, Father, you ran off. Why?
He's a strange lad sometimes. I've noticed that. Have you?
Jonathan's a fine friend, Father.
Of course. It's just that he's a strange boy sometimes, that's all. But now we'll put the dagger and scabbard someplace where they can be seen without being too accessible. Don't forget what I told you. For the time being, you're not to use the dagger for anything.
Yes, sir. Jonathan? What? Oh, what'd you say, Mother? You've been daydreaming again. What were you thinking of, son? Nothing. But you were. Was it the fine sandals Daniel's father brought back for you? Why, yes, it was very thoughtful of him to do that. You were needing another pair, and with so little money. Mother, is it wrong for us to want something we don't need When you're poor, first you worry about the things you need, then about the things you want. I suppose it'll always be the same. For us. For a time, maybe. But when you're older and can work or go into some business, then you'll be able to have the things you want. That's a long time, isn't it? No time is a long time. It all goes too quickly. It'll be years, though, won't it? Son, tell me, what is it you want so very much? Nothing. But there is something. It wouldn't do any good, so what's the use of telling me? I might like to know. Maybe there's a way. And if you tell her, isn't any way. It's impossible, that's all. Impossible.
Daniel, come in here at once.
Yes, Father?
Daniel, I didn't think you deliberately disobeyed me. I'm rather surprised to find out about it.
Me? Disobey you?
Son, I want to know what you've done with it.
Done with what?
I told you very firmly that it wasn't for your use till you were older and wise enough to handle it without danger. Now, where is it?
Are you talking about the dagger?
Yes, where is it?
Well, there, resting in that niche in the wall where you put it.
Oh, Daniel, that's the part I minded most of all. It was deceitful. Taking the blade and leaving the scabbard so that I wouldn't know it was gone.
It's still there. I didn't touch it. I give you my word, Father.
Well, see for yourself. Here, I'll get it. There.
It is empty. The dagger's gone.
Yes. Now, if you put it back, if you promise not to do this again, there'll be no punishment this time.
Well, Father, I don't have it. I didn't even touch it. What?
What is it, son?
Please, Father, don't ask me any more. Don't.
Come here, son. I want you to tell me what's happened. I won't punish you.
Well, I said I didn't touch the dagger. That's not true. I did.
When?
Today, earlier this afternoon.
You just wanted to take another look at it, I suppose.
Well, it wasn't my...
I see. Now, if it wasn't your idea, whose idea was it? Jonathan?
Yes, sir. But then I replaced the blade and the scabbard and put them both back up in that place. I give you my word on that.
I think I understand what's happened here. Daniel.
Yes, sir.
You're to go down to Jonathan's house right now and talk to him. Tell him we understand that we only want the blade back. Will you do that?
But maybe he didn't do it.
I told you he's a strange lad. I've noticed it. As a matter of fact, it might be just as well if from now on you two didn't play together anymore.
But, Father...
First, get the blade back. We'll talk about other things later.
Yes, sir.
Yes? Who is it? Why, Daniel. Come in.
Sarah, please. I must know quickly. Is Jonathan here?
Jonathan? Why, no. Hasn't he been at your house?
Not since early this afternoon. I thought he might be home.
But he didn't return. And I thought maybe something's happened to him.
I don't know. If he isn't here, then maybe he's run away.
Why should he run away?
I don't know. I'd better go.
No, wait. Daniel! Simeon, I had to come here at once. There was something your son said. It seemed to mean trouble. Is he here?
Yes, sir.
Then I must talk to him.
He won't talk to you.
What is it? What do you two know about my son that makes you both act so strange? If something's happened to Jonathan, I have a right to know. He hasn't been injured in any way, has he?
No.
Thank God. And now, if you know, tell me.
Well, I suppose I am the one who should tell you.
Then please, before I imagine the worst.
Sarah, it seems that beyond any question, your son has taken something that belongs to Daniel.
Maybe Daniel lent it to him.
But he didn't.
Then Jonathan must have misunderstood. It must be a mistake.
I'm afraid it isn't. You see, Jonathan heard me tell Daniel he was not to touch the dagger.
What kind of dagger?
A fine Damascus blade. It was in a silver scabbard. Your son seemed to have admired it very much when I first showed it to him. He almost didn't want to hand it back.
He admired it very much. Didn't want to give it up. Yes. Now I can understand.
He said something to you about it?
Yes, but I didn't know it at the time. He talked about wanting something very much and never being able to get it. That's what he must have meant. And so, he might have...
Not might have. Must have. Now, Sarah, don't cry. Tears won't be of any help now. But you can understand why Daniel couldn't see you.
Yes. What shall we do now?
At first, I thought the lad might have taken it home. But when Daniel returned and said he wasn't home, then I knew he ran off with the blade. And it's a very valuable object. So I shall have to go see Abraham, the town elder.
But you'd be treating my son as a criminal if you complained against him.
After all, the boy did steal a valuable object from my house. To make his guilt more positive, he ran off. I'm afraid I have no choice.
I guess you're right. I'll go along with you.
Well, so that's what brings you three here.
He's not a bad boy, Abraham. He certainly was never brought up that way. My husband was never wealthy, but he was honest. You knew him.
Of course I knew his honesty, Sarah. But still, we have some pretty definite facts to deal with here.
We don't really know. True, the blade is missing. My son is missing. But can anyone say for sure that Jonathan took the blade?
Pretty obvious, isn't it?
This thing should be proved first, shouldn't it?
I think that perhaps it has been proved.
But, Abraham, no one has seen Jonathan with the blade.
I'm afraid someone has.
Who?
I have.
But when?
Earlier this afternoon, I was walking back to town after hearing the master teach. And just outside the town wall, I saw a boy cutting a thick branch from a tree. Then he began to peel the bark from it with a very fine knife. When I came close to him to admire the blade, he looked up and saw me and ran off, frightened. That boy was Jonathan.
You really did take it then. But I can't believe
You stay out of this, son.
Yes, sir.
Well, Sarah, what do you think now?
If my son has done this thing, he should be punished. He must learn.
And I quite agree. Well, Abraham, it's your duty. What's to be done?
I don't quite know. The boy, he's
There's no other way. He'll be no son of mine again till he's punished and swears never to do such a thing again. I'll teach that boy. Wait till I get my hands on him. Just wait.
Perhaps that's what we should do.
Beat him?
No, wait.
Wait? For what?
Till tempers and hurts cool down. Right now, you both seek to punish the boy, and you think that would even the score. But I'm thinking of the boy. I only wish I were wise enough to know what to do, but I'm not. So we shall get help from someone who will know.
But you're the authority, the law here.
Wisdom doesn't always go with authority. So I must seek wisdom elsewhere. I'm going back to speak to the master. Will all of you come with me?
I'd almost rather you didn't speak to the master, Abraham.
It's the boy's future I'm thinking of.
But to go to one like the master, to admit this shame to him.
Perhaps you don't know him as well as you should, then. If you expect rebuke, you'll find none. But if you need help, there'll be a great deal of that.
Surely even he can't countenance such criminal action without knowing there must be punishment for it.
We shall see. Ah, there's the master now. Come with me, all of you. Come. Master, forgive us if we interrupt your meditation and prayer. But we are all of us concerned with the young lad who has transgressed the law.
As a town elder, the duty is mine to punish him. But something stays my hand. I feel I cannot do it. What shall be done with a lad who has taken what belonged to his best friend and run off with it? How shall I deal with it?
Master, this boy who was accused before you, he's my son. I want him again as he was. Honest, decent, a good son. Tell me, Master, how can I have my son back as he was?
Ye have heard that it hath been said, an eye for an eye, and a tooth for a tooth. But I say unto you, that ye resist not evil. But whosoever shall smite thee on thy right cheek, turn to him the other also.
Master, surely you haven't heard us correctly. We have talked of a boy who stole, not one who assaulted his friend.
Simeon, please. It's you who haven't heard correctly. Master, I thank you for your words. They are the wisdom that I have sought.
Abraham, what are you saying? Simeon is right. The words have no meaning for what's happened to my son.
I understand. And I think Daniel will still understand. That's all that's needed now. Master, I thank you once again. Now, come, Sim, Sarah, Daniel. Come with me.
Well, Abraham, now that we're back, I have a right to know what's going to happen. After all, it's your duty to protect the good people of this town.
I think I can do that.
You'll teach my son never to steal again.
We can do that, too.
How? That's what I want to know.
You will. Daniel?
Yes, sir.
Daniel, do you want Jonathan back as a friend?
I forbid it.
Simeon, I was talking to your son. Now tell me, Daniel, do you?
Until this thing happened, he was a very good friend, sir. And I would want him back, if it's possible.
It's only possible with your help.
Oh, I'll do anything, sir. Anything you ask.
See here, Abraham, if there's punishment to be meted out, you're the one to do it. You're shirking your duty.
Punishment, eh? Well, what would you do to the boy, Simeon?
I'd seize him and give him the sound cuffing he deserves. Am I right, Sarah?
The boy must be taught.
Is that the extent of your punishment?
He might be held up before the whole town as an example.
Perhaps. Well, is there anything else?
I don't know. Unless we were forced to go without food for a day or two.
1 day, not 2.
1 day, then.
I see. And, nothing else?
That should be enough.
I'm afraid you've disappointed Jonathan.
Disappointed him? What do you mean?
You don't know the most effective means of torture that's ever been invented. It's the imaginations of little boys. Why do you think he ran off when he saw me? Because he's already guilty in his own mind. Because he's already thought up more forms of punishment than either of you have been able to provide. So, if that's the best you can do, the matter resolves itself down to what Daniel and I think should be done. Now, lads, you and I will go into the next room and talk over this matter.
Yes, sir. Well, sir?
Now then, the first thing we have to do is get Jonathan to come back to town. That'll be your job. Will you do it?
Of course.
You realize that he'll be angry, that he will suspect you, and that he has the dagger.
I hadn't thought of it that way.
Is that going to stop you?
No, sir.
Good. Now, I'll tell you where to go outside the town to find Jonathan, and then what to do.
I am Jonathan, the terror of Galilee. And with my trusty Damascus blade, I shall drive the invaders from the land. I shall turn back the armies of Babylon and Greece and Rome. There! That's for you. And you were the white charger. I cut you down. There! Invade my land, will you?
Jonathan.
What?
Jonathan?
Daniel, what are you doing out here?
I want to talk to you.
Well, I don't want to talk to you.
Oh, please don't run away. Wait.
Stand where you are.
All right, I won't move any closer.
Now, if you have anything to say, say it.
Jonathan, we've been good friends in the past. I want to go on being friends. If you want to.
And if I don't?
Well, surely you must. We've had so much fun together. You remember? Playing caravan and soldiers, being like the heroes of old. Didn't you have fun?
That's for children, that kind of play.
Oh, please, Jonathan. Would you come back with me?
So they can punish me? Beat me? Call me thief? Is that what you want?
Oh, no, please. You don't understand. I'm your friend.
If you're really a friend of mine, you'll go back there. You'll tell them that you couldn't find me, that I was nowhere around here.
What will you do after that?
I don't know.
Why don't you let me help you?
Why should you?
I told you, we're friends.
I stole your blade. You know that.
Yes, I know.
What will your father say? And my mother when she finds out?
She's already found out.
Oh. You're coming closer. I told you to stay back.
No way.
If you come another step closer, I'm going to have to do something I don't want to do, Daniel. I'm warning you now.
All right, I'll wait right here.
Now look, if you're really my friend, go back. Tell them you couldn't find me. Tell them I run away. And by the time you reach the town, I will have gone.
If you're determined to go, there's something to be done, Chris.
What do you mean?
May I come closer to
No,
I won't try any tricks.
Oh, no? Then what have you got there? What are you hiding from me?
Something I have for you. You'll let me come close enough to give it to you.
Wait. All right. You can come closer. But I want you to know that if you try to stop me from running away, I'll have to do something. And I have this dagger.
Yes, I know. Well, can I come closer?
All right. Well, what do you want?
If you're going away, if you're not coming back to the town with me, then I want you to have this.
Pat? What?
Here, take it. It's yours, Jonathan.
Mine? You're giving it to me? That's the silver scabbard.
Yes, Jonathan. It goes with the dagger. They belong together. Don't they? Yes. Yes, they belong. Take it, Jonathan. Here, I want you to have it.
You want me to have it? Even after I stole?
Please, Jonathan, please don't cry. Don't cry. It's yours if you want it. And I won't stop you from running away. But I'd rather you stayed. We were friends again. Would you come back with me? But only if you want to.
Yes, Daniel. I want to be friends. I want to go back home. If they'll have me.
One moment.
You sent for me, Abraham.
Yes, I sent for you. Sarah, your son is back.
Oh, thank God for that. But now I have my duty. Where is he? Where?
He's in there. But one moment before you go in to see him. I want you to know that he came back of his own will. that he's the sorriest, most penitent boy I have ever seen.
And he ought to be.
Now, Sarah, remember, the boy must not be made to suffer forever because of one moment of weakness. Some people think that justice consists only of punishment. But where punishment would have hardened him, kindness and understanding have won him back.
Yes, Abraham. I can see that now. After all, he did come back voluntarily.
Yes. And it was made possible only through kindness. So, Sarah, before you go in there to see your son, let me remind you of the Master's words.
Ye have heard that it hath been said, an eye for an eye, and a tooth for a tooth. But I say unto you, that ye resist not evil. But whosoever shall smite thee on thy right cheek, turn to him the other also.
You have been listening to A Blade from Damascus, another episode in the greatest story ever told, from the greatest life ever lived. The Greatest Story Ever Told was a presentation of the United States Armed Forces Radio Service, the voice of information and education.
The Greatest Story Ever Told.
Presented by the United States Armed Forces Radio Service.
Tonight we present A Child in the House, a drama based on a teaching from the greatest life ever lived. In the town of Jezreel in Galilee, the important merchant Silas is not in the marketplace on this day. And those who ask for him are told that he is at home. There is no further explanation, except that silence is there on a matter of utmost importance. Now, at this moment, Silas is giving orders to his servants concerning this important matter.
That will be all in regard to the first meal. Now, this room seems quite suitable. Should please the girl very much. We must remember that. The sole function of every person in this household shall be to please that girl. And foremost in the plan is this. The girl who will arrive has lost her mother very recently.
Silas.
Yes, dear?
Do you think it's proper to discuss that with the servants?
But it's very important, Rhoda. Just let me continue and you'll see why.
All right, dear.
Well, then, since the child has lost her mother, she is completely orphaned. So, the word mother is not to be used in her presence, nor shall anyone speak of death. We want the child to take up a completely new life here. She must forget her unhappy past, and we must all help her to do that. Is that understood? Now go about your duties.
Silas.
Yes, dear.
I can't tell you how much I appreciate all this.
You talk as though you didn't expect me to do it.
After all, she was my sister's child. You have no obligation toward her.
Perhaps I was thinking beyond obligations to something else. This may be the answer to that wish that's no longer spoken in this house. Yes, it's my ambition that she shall be our child.
Oh, Silas, if it could only happen.
It will. That's why I've taken such pains with every detail about her arrival. That's why this room, these clothes, the very finest.
I never knew you felt so strongly about it.
But why?
Because we ourselves didn't go to Nazareth to fetch her here. Instead, you sent your steward.
And for very good reason. I've never seen the child. You've seen her only once, a long time ago. So she doesn't really know it. By sending Obadiah to fetch her, it gives him the chance to tell her all about us. So when she sees us, she won't think us complete strangers. She'll feel more at ease with us.
I hope it works out that way.
It will. I thought it all out too carefully to let anything go wrong now. I have my heart set on making her our child, Rhoda. The child will love us.
I hope so. Oh, Silas, the door.
We'll answer it ourselves. I told the servants. Now, give me your hand. We shall go to greet the child together. And, Rhoda, let me kiss her first.
If you wish.
Since she hasn't ever seen me before, it's important I show her that I'm glad to have her here. So come. Now, are you ready, Rhoda?
Yes, Silas.
Good. Now. Obadiah.
Yes, sir.
And this is the girl? Well, Naomi, my dear, how good to see you. Come in. We welcome you here. And as an expression of our feeling, allow me. There, my dear. Well, have you nothing to say?
Silas. Now.
Oh, yes, Rhoda, of course.
Oh, Naomi. Naomi, you poor child, what you've been through. How you must have felt so alone. It must have been such a...
Rhoda, please. Remember what I cautioned the servants about before.
Oh, yes.
Well, Naomi, how do you like our house? It's your house now, too. Well, have you nothing to say?
I can't.
Child, what is it? What's wrong?
Silas, perhaps she's tired from the long journey. Let me take her to a room where she can rest.
Rhoda, perhaps you'd best do that.
Come, child, come with me. You shall rest and you'll feel better.
I can't understand it, Obadiah, crying that way. Did I do anything wrong? You did tell her about us, didn't you, Obadiah?
Yes, sir. I spoke, but she didn't listen.
Well, what do you mean?
It's the truth. I spoke, but she didn't hear me. That child lives within herself now.
I see. I had such hope. I wanted everything to go right, but, well, we mustn't be hasty. We must see what happens.
Silas, Silas, these past 2 days you've been brooding.
Yes, this thing has weighed on me very heavily. Rhoda, I don't like to say it, but it's a disappointment. The whole thing.
The child?
Yes. I had such hopes of what it might be like. Having a child here, having a child love us. But it isn't that way at all.
Be patient.
I've been patient. You can't even talk to her. At least she doesn't answer. How can you keep on being nice to someone who won't even talk to you?
Perhaps if you were gentler, kinder.
Kinder? Haven't I given her everything a child would want? A fine room, a nice clothes. Hey, maybe that's it. Perhaps there's something else she wants and she's too shy to ask for it. I know, I'll have a talk with her right now.
Be gentle. She frightens very easily, Silas.
I shall be gentle. Come, we'll go to her room. Naomi?
Yes, sir.
Naomi, Well,
Silas, what is it?
those clothes she wears. My dear child, may I ask what's the meaning of, the clothes you have on? They're the same ones you wore when you arrived. Dusty and ragged.
Yes, sir.
But why? Look about this room. The very finest of clothes here. They're yours. We've given them to you.
Silas, please.
Well, wait, Rhoda. Come here, Naomi. No, don't be afraid of me. Come here.
Yes, sir.
Now, tell me. Don't you like these new clothes we've given you?
I like them.
But yet you don't wear them. You wear these. I don't like to say it, child, but even my servants wear better clothes than these. Now, Rhoda, I shall leave you so you can help the child change to these new clothes.
Oh, no, I won't wear them. I won't.
You mean you prefer these ragged ones?
Yes, sir.
I don't understand it. We provided these clothes just for you. We made sure they were the finest. And you choose to wear this in preference to fine linen and silk? It doesn't make sense. At least try the new ones.
I want my own.
But why?
Because my mother made them.
I see. Well, there's nothing I can do then. Rhoda, at least see the child's clothes are washed and mended.
Please, Silas, you shouldn't feel so discouraged.
But it's been a whole week now that the girl's been here, and still not so much as a word out of her. To me, at least.
She did thank you for everything.
I expected more than thanks. I thought that first there would come appreciation. And then appreciation would ripen into love. Does anything seem more natural? And it's all been different. She still wears her old clothes. New things lie unused, even unappreciated. All because her mother made the old clothes. She still thinks of nothing but her mother.
And why not? The wound is still fresh. The dead are not buried with earth alone. Silas, did you ever think, if we talked to her about it...
If the child doesn't love us, it's foolish to talk to her about it.
I didn't mean that. I meant if we talked to her about her mother.
That's just the thing I wanted to forget. How will she ever grow to love us if we keep talking about her mother?
You might at least try. Everything else has failed.
That much is true. Well, I'll go to her room. I'll talk to her.
No.
Yes?
Perhaps if it happened more casually.
You may be right. I know. At mealtime, I'll find a way to broach the subject to her very casually. Then we'll see. Well, Naomi, I suppose that...
Yes, sir.
Well, what I meant to say was,
We hope that you're happy here. I mean that everyone has a time in their lives when they undergo a great change. They move from one place to another, from one home to another. Isn't that so, Rhoda?
Yes, Silas.
My child, when I was a boy, my father moved our family all the way from Judea here to Galilee. I left all my friends and all the familiar places I knew. It happens that way. Just as it happened to you.
Yes, sir.
Well, then, I found myself thinking of the old life all the time. I used to be very sad till I talked with my brother. We used to recall the old times, the places where we played, the hills and the caves. Then it didn't seem so bad anymore.
You were lucky, sir.
That I had a brother to talk to? Yes, I was. But you have someone to talk to if you want to talk about the things and places you knew and the people.
People?
Yes. Say, your mother, for instance.
My mother?
Yes. You might want to talk about her. And if you do, we'd like to hear it. Well, go on. Say something, child. Go on. Say anything you want to say.
I'm sorry. I must leave the table.
You see? I tried as best I could to lead her gently into talking. At first she just sat there and stared. Then her eyes filled up and she ran away. It's all hopelessly wrong. And it's the child's fault. The child's fault. Rhoda, I've been thinking about it. All night I thought about it. We can find a way to the girl's love if we find things she wants to do or talk about. Except, of course, her mother. But there must be other things. And you should know. After all, she does talk to you sometimes.
Mostly she talks of her mother. But there is something else.
What is it?
The master.
The master? A child of her age talks about the master?
Yes. She's told me of how her mother used to take her to hear him. And she'll often repeat to me, word for word, things she's heard the master say.
Well, tell me, what are some of them? Or perhaps that's the way to bring the child closer to us.
One thing stands out most in my mind. Because it's about love.
Well, go on. Tell me.
She told me she'd heard the master say once, love your enemies. Bless them that curse you. Do good to them that hate you.
Love your enemy. Bless them that curse you. That's very strange.
It's good teaching if you think about it. I have.
It may well be good teaching. But hasn't the master ever taught her about loving those who are kind to her? Didn't she ever say anything about that?
Well, not in so many words.
Are you sure the child's repeating correctly what she heard?
I think so.
And it's stranger still. If she's been taught to love those who are enemies, then why can't she love us who have been so good to her? This is too confusing. I'll have Obadiah fetch her here. Obadiah!
Yes, sir. You called me?
Obadiah, would you please bring the girl here? I should like to talk to her.
Yes, sir. I shall bring her at once.
I can't understand it. I've done all I can. I spared no expense to make the child happy. You must admit that, Rhoda.
I know, Silas.
Yet we get no love from her. Why? Especially since she seems to remember the master's teachings about loving those who hate you. It's confusing, very confusing. But we'll find out now, and then we'll... Oh, Obadiah, well?
Sir, the girl, she isn't in her room.
Then search for her in the garden, in the arbor. You mean she's not there?
That's what I mean, sir.
Obadiah, she hasn't...
Her room, mistress, is very neat, but disturbing because it is so neat. Every single thing is as it was that very first day when she came here. It gives one a feeling that she's never lived here at all. I think she's run away.
Run away? After all we've done for her.
Oh, Silas, there's no time to think about ourselves and our feelings now. The poor child alone and with no money, nothing. She'll starve.
You're right. We can't let that happen. We must find her at once. And when we do, there's one thing I must find out. Why she couldn't love us. But come, we must find her first.
She's not here, Silas. Not here.
She must be. After all, this is the master's meeting place. If she were alone and afraid, I'm sure this is the place she would come to. Perhaps if we went to the master himself, he might know.
Then we must do that.
My friend, I couldn't help but hear. You spoke of the master, of his knowing something you wish to know.
Yes? But why should it concern you?
We're among his closest followers, Thomas and I.
That's true, sir.
So if we could help...
If you only would. We seek a girl, our niece. She came to live with us and then ran away. We think she's here. She's a thin girl, about so tall, dark-haired, and sad. Very sad.
Many come here who are sad and thin of face and have dark hair.
But if the child is here, we'll find her for you.
Well, we've searched the whole place. It seems the child you seek is not here, Silas.
My sister's only child.
I'm very sorry, my dear woman.
Oh, Silas.
Well, perhaps it's best this way. She never loved us. Never even wanted us. I'm sure of that now.
How can you say that?
Because I know. How? Why do you keep asking how I know?
Thomas questions everything. It's his way of learning.
Well, I know we did all we could for the child, and she gave us no love in return.
And just what did you do for her?
Gave her a home, the best of food, the finest of clothes to wear. That's what we did.
Is that all?
What more can you do to merit love? Mind you, I gave it willingly. I was under no obligation to do it. All I asked in return was a little love. A child in a house where there were no children before.
Ah, yes, it's a pity.
I knew you'd understand how we felt once I explained the facts.
Oh, I meant it was a pity for the girl's sake. For the girl's sake? Yes. You know, I believe I could find the girl for you. But it would do no good if you were to find her now.
You mean she'll never love us?
Silas, before I tell you where the girl is, would you do something to please me?
Of course.
Come with me. Stand before the master. Let him hear your complaint against the girl. How you did so much for her and found her loveless.
The master? Yes. Perhaps he would like to know that this child stood before him and heard his words about loving those who hate her, but that she couldn't find it in her heart to love us, who did so much good for her.
Yes, Silas, I think that you could do nothing better than to accuse the girl.
Why do you say it that way, Thomas?
Come with me, and after you have listened to the master, I shall help you find the girl. Come. Silas, we stand before him now. Speak of the girl, of yourselves.
Yes, Thomas. I shall try. Master, my wife and we've come here seeking a child who has run away from our home. We sought to make her our child, to make her love us. But though we gave the child everything we could, she didn't love us. Not even though she had heard your words. Master, what can one do with such a child who knows neither appreciation for all we gave her, nor love for anyone?
Judge not, that ye be not judged.
I, Master, I be judged? What wrong have I done? Giving the child a good home, food and clothes? Was that wrong? It's not I, but the child who's at fault, Master.
Why beholdest thou the mote that is in thy brother's eye, but considerest not the beam that is in thine own eye? First, cast out the beam out of thine own eye, and then shalt thou see clearly to cast out the mote out of thy brother's eye.
Thomas, what the Master said to me, was it my fault that the child didn't love her?
Wasn't it, Silas?
I gave her everything I could. Not everything. Oh, there may have been some things I overlooked, but what difference? She didn't even accept the things I did give her. She just didn't love us, that's all.
So you accuse her again, do you? First, take the beam out of your eye. First, examine yourself, Silas. True, you gave her bodily comfort, a home, food, clothes. But in return, you sought love.
Was it not fair to expect it?
Only love can bring forth love. That's why the Master said to us once, "This is my commandment, that ye love one another." Yet of all the things you told the Master you gave the child, love was not one of them. Yet you accused her of not loving you. That's why the Master spoke as he did.
Oh, yes, Silas. I understand now. I know now, and it's true. You gave her all things but love, and expected she would love you. Silas, the Master was right. You accused the child of the very thing that was lacking in you.
I begin to see now, Rhoda. The fine clothes we gave her, she put aside for the ragged garments her mother made for her. Because ragged as they were a sign of her mother's love.
What we gave her was bought with silver. What her mother gave her was evidence of love. The fault has been ours, Silas.
Not ours, Rhoda, but mine.
Now, Silas, I think you're ready to find her.
Where?
Where her heart is.
And where is that?
I found the answer by asking myself the same question. It is the place where she and her mother were happy together. Go there, and I'm sure you will find her.
This must be the house. The sentry at the town gate said so.
Such a hovel. I didn't know my sister was so poorly off.
That poor child is alone. Thomas was right. We'll go in.
Who is this? What do you want here? Oh.
Yes, child. Your aunt and uncle. We've come to find you.
Yes, dear. We thought you might be alone and frightened.
I am. But I had to be here.
Wait now. This was your mother's house. But we've come here to make sure you're no longer alone or frightened.
You went a long journey to the Nazareth just because of me?
Yes, my dear. It's because we love you and want to protect you.
You love me? I didn't know that. I thought you took me in just to keep me from starving. If I thought that you loved me, that you wanted me, I would have run away. Now I see that you really want me.
Yes, child. It's no fault of yours that you didn't know. Perhaps we didn't know either. But we have seen him.
The Master?
Yes. We always wanted you, dear. But that was our difficulty. We thought too much of the love we wanted, not enough of the love you needed from us. The Master showed me that when I complained of your not loving me. It was we who didn't give love. How could we have expected it in return? But now, my dear, if you choose to come back with it, I promise that I shall never forget the Master's work.
Judge not, that ye be not judged. Why beholdest thou the mote that is in thy brother's eye, but considerest not the beam that is in thine own eye? First, cast out the beam out of thine own eye. Then shalt thou see clearly to cast out the mote out of thy brother's eye.
You have been listening to A Child in the House, another episode in the greatest story ever told, from the greatest life ever lived.
The greatest story ever told.
Presented by the United States Armed Forces Radio Service.
Tonight we present where thieves break through. A drama based on a teaching from the greatest life ever lived. A gray sea and a gray sky, and a small vessel runs before the wind like a frightened animal before the smell of smoke. The wind whistles ominously in the sails, stretching them taut almost to the bursting point. The captain of the vessel holds fiercely to the great rudder and looks up to address the assembled crew and both passengers.
Men, as sailor and captain, I've sailed the great sea for more than 20 years. But I've never seen a sky like this one, nor felt a sea so treacherous. Now we need a good man, one who can approach God for us and pray. Is there such a man among you? Well,
Captain.
Yes, Elijah?
It's not for a man to say of himself that he's good. Will it be enough for your purpose if a man has tried to be good?
God would listen to such a man.
Then I could pray for us.
Do that, sir.
Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come. Thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those...
Captain, what kind of prayer is that? I'd like to hear something about saving this vessel, getting us safely to Cyprus. Phineas, I find this a good prayer. Tell me, Elijah, was it something which just came to you?
No, Captain. Not long before we sailed from Galilee, I heard the Master teach it. He said a great deal on that day. A great deal that I shall never forget.
The storm will break any moment now, Phineas. Elisha, you two passengers had better be ready to lend a hand if we call on you. In the meantime, Elisha, pray for us all. All the time, Elisha. We'll never come through. Elisha, I'm speaking to you.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was thinking of some of the things I heard the Master say. They seem to comfort a man at a time like this.
They do, eh? Tell me, what made you take this journey?
Matters of business?
You seem to be a man who could afford to hire someone to take such a risky journey as this.
In most matters, I send others. But where so much is involved, I had to go myself.
You're, carrying that much gold?
What? How did you know I carry gold?
Well, I presume that's what would be so important to make you go on this mission by yourself, that's all.
I see. And what makes you take this journey, Phineas? May I ask that?
The same thing.
You carry gold, too?
No. But there are certain things a man must do for himself and by himself. But now, hadn't you better get your gold from its hiding place? After all, it would be a pity for so much gold to be at the bottom of the sea.
Perhaps you're right.
Maybe I could help you.
I don't think I'll need any help, thank you.
All right. Have it your own way. You two, you passengers, be ready for the worst now. The sails are gone. I can hear you, Captain, but Elisha's gone to get something. And I'm going to help him.
What had happened to me? Where, but... Oh. You, Phineas.
Yes, Elisha. I saved your life.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Phineas. Where are we? Where are the others?
Gone. The ship broke in two. I seized you and tied you to this piece of timber. And now, since there's just the two of us, we might as well settle the business that brought me on this voyage.
What do you mean?
Why do you think I came along on the voyage? Because I like the sea air or salt water or being tossed into an angry sea?
You mean you came along just to rob me?
We'd landed in Cyprus, I'd have had your gold within half a day. But now I'll have to take it this way. Hold still. I want to untie your money pouch.
You'd rob a man now? Here, adrift in the sea?
I never let anything interfere with business. Now hold still.
All right.
When I get back to Galilee, how they'll laugh when I tell them. Robbing a man afloat on a timber on the great sea.
You wouldn't dare go back to Galilee.
And why not?
I should have to report you to the authorities.
I believe you should. If you're alive.
What do you mean?
Did you think I just happened to have this rope in my hands accidentally when the ship broke apart? I was coming to find you. And the gold. This rope was meant for something else besides lashing a man to a timber.
You were going to strangle me?
The sea takes all kinds of corpses. I have the money pouch. Now, I'll just untie this rope.
No, please. You have the gold. Why kill me? Is it necessary?
If I want to go back to Galilee?
Wait. If I promise not to return to Galilee, if I promise never to try to find you, would you let me live then?
I don't know if I can believe you.
I give you my word. Besides, neither of us knows if we'll ever reach land safely. Why kill a man who may die anyway, and then have blood on your soul? For no reason.
Don't go talking about souls. But you're right about one thing. We may never reach land. And a man alone by himself on a timber in the sea. Well, all right. I'll let you live. For now. 3 days. No food, no water, and no land either.
It seems I was right, much as I hate to be. Neither of us shall reach land.
Yes, that's my kind of luck, all right. The first time in my life I ever get my hands on gold, a great deal of gold. And I'm going to die. Die.
The gold means that much to you, does it?
You tell me. If gold means so little, how did you happen to amass so much of it by accident?
No. Man works, engages in business, seeks some degree of worldly comfort. That's so. But that gold should drive men to steal, even to kill.
Each man has his own way. You have yours, I have mine.
And perhaps they differ, because you don't know the one thing that matters more than anything else.
Gold matters, luxury matters, having what you want in life matters, that's all.
Oh, there's more. There's something I heard the master say.
He spoke that prayer you said on the ship?
Yes. And on the same day I heard him speak the prayer. He said many other things, too. It was a fair day. That was good. For so many had gathered to hear him. There were old men such as I, and children, too. And the master looked down at us and said,
Lay not up for yourselves treasures upon earth, where moth and rust doth corrupt, and where thieves break through and steal. But lay up for yourselves treasures in heaven, where neither moth nor rust doth corrupt, and where thieves do not break through nor steal. For where your treasure is, there will your heart be also.
Yes. He spoke those words.
Did he? Well, it's funny. Very funny.
You think so?
Yes. You laid up treasure and I stole it. Just as the master said.
Did you stop to think that it applies to you, too? That you might take the master's words to your heart?
I did my share. I'm the thief and I stole, just as he said I would.
Phineas, there's not much time for either of us. Another day, perhaps, that's all. You could change before it's too late.
Change? Why?
For the sake of your spirit.
Spirit, eh? You think? I have one, too?
We all have. And for the sake of yours, give up your hatred of me, of everyone. Don't keep harboring murder in your heart.
And that will save my spirit?
It would help.
Well, maybe if I did. Wait.
What is it?
Wait. Maybe it's a mirage. Maybe I can't believe what I see, but there's land. Land. There, see?
Land? I don't... Yes. Yes, land.
Come on. We've got to reach that island. Got to. After I slipped, I couldn't get up till you gave me a hand.
The gold tied your waist. It dragged you down in the water.
Yes, but I came through. And I do have the gold besides. Thanks to you, I suppose.
I couldn't let you drown. Now, Phineas, perhaps you can understand in a small way what the master meant when he said, where your treasure is, there is your heart also. You risked your life for the gold, and it almost killed you.
Look, you. We've got dry land under our feet now. Let's have no more talk.
Oh, a little while ago, I thought you were beginning to understand.
We're not adrift any longer, and one of us has gold, a great deal of gold. Now I'll find people here and buy food. Well, at least water. Nothing else on this God-forsaken island.
God-forsaken? There's water here, Phineas. God placed it here.
But what else? A few trees that don't bear fruit, a brook, and a shore covered with seashells. There's no one on this island, no one. No food to buy. Not even any to catch. I've seen no animals, no birds.
No. There seems to be us and the trees and the gold. And the gold's no good now.
Well, I won't give up. I'll eat grass, herbs, roots, anything, but I'll stay alive. And I'll get off this island, too.
Fire's dying. Dawn's here. And no one saw us again.
No one. It's been a week. Even more, who knows? I've lost track of time.
Then we'd better start gathering what we can to eat.
Grass. Fit for animals, not men.
Kept us alive so far.
Yeah. So let's get up and drag ourselves toward the trees where the grass is. And Elisha.
What is it, Phineas?
Get up.
What's the matter?
Just get up. There. Now, look across the island to the other shore. There.
Oh, yes. Good. Salem shore. Boat with a sail.
I wanted you to see it. And say it before I said a word. I thought maybe I was going out of my mind. It is a sail. You did say that, didn't you?
Yes. Yes.
Then come. You see him too, don't you?
Yes. He walks along the shore and gathers certain of the shells and carries them back to the boat. We should call to him.
No, don't do that. The main thing's the boat. And the way he walks away from it.
What do you mean?
Nothing.
Phineas.
Yes, what is it?
Phineas, you wouldn't think to steal the boat, would you?
Never mind what I think.
You'd leave him here alone, as helpless as we are now.
He won't be alone.
You mean?
I know you promised never to return to Galilee, never to tell the authorities, but I don't trust you, Elisha. I don't trust anyone. That boat means freedom to me. Because it's so small, it means we're closer to the mainland than I thought. And that boat's going to take me there alone.
Wait, Phineas.
Wait, nothing. I'm going to run for it.
Phineas, don't do it. Don't. Look, the man's seen you. He's running toward the boat.
He won't stop me. He's not big enough.
Wait. What are you doing here on this island?
Stand where you are. I want that boat. And I'll kill to get it.
No, you can't. You can't leave me here. You can't do it. Phineas, no. Don't strike him. Phineas, no! Oh, he hasn't stirred. Not at all. Friend, can you hear me?
You won't hit me again, will you?
No. No one will hit you. Don't be afraid.
You're not the one who struck me, are you?
No, I'm not.
That hurts badly.
I know. He hit you not once, but several times. He wanted to get the boat, to get away from here. And he did.
You were shipwrecked?
Yes. But you, why are you here?
The shells. They're most unusual on this island. 4 times every year I come here to gather them. Then I sell them in the marketplace in Cyprus. But never have I seen anyone on this island before. No one even knows of it except me.
You mean we'll never be rescued?
Not till your friend comes back.
He'll never come back.
He will.
He won't. I know him.
He will. I know the sea.
What do you mean?
From this shore over many miles of water is Cyprus. But it is treacherous water. Only a man who knows it well can guide a vessel through it. Your friend will be back, if he lives.
There. You see, Elisha, I told you, the tide has carried the vessel back. But I don't see Phineas.
Look, extending over the side of my boat is a man's hand. Your friend is in the boat, exhausted, perhaps even dead, but he's there.
Phineas! Phineas!
The hand moves now.
He's setting up now. Phineas!
This island. This same cursed island again. No! No! I never wanted to see this place again! Never!
Phineas!
Demas, that water.
It sent the boat round and round. I fought against it, but I'm no hand with boats. Finally, I was exhausted. I just laid down and let it drift.
And the next morning, you were back here.
Yes. It's a trick. Some cruel trick fate has played on me.
One must know the sea.
Oh, Demas, you know it. All right. I'll give you gold. A great deal of gold. Get me off this cursed island.
It can never be.
What do you mean it can never be? Gold, look. Look here, I'll show it to you. Let me untie this pouch. There, gold. Well?
No. You struck me. Meant to kill me. I will not take you back now. Only 2 men will leave this island.
You? Elisha?
Yes.
Why not me? I'm giving you gold.
One does not risk one's life for gold. And the boat can carry only 2 men in safety. It's small. It's never carried anything but me and the shells before.
All right, the 2 of us, you and I. We leave Elisha here. What do you say to that?
No.
For half the gold?
This man is my friend. He tended the wounds you inflicted on me. I could not leave him.
3/4 of the gold, then?
No.
All of it. Here. Take it all, every last coin. Only get me off this island.
No. Not for this gold, nor even for more.
All right, then. All right. None of us leaves the island. I'll watch. If I see you try to leave, I'll kill the both of you. But no one leaves this island alive unless I go with them. You understand?
Elisha, he has not stirred.
Not for quite a time now.
Then he must finally be asleep. 2 days, the way he watched us, guarded us. We could sleep, but not he. And now it's too much for him. He sleeps at last.
He's exhausted.
Wait. It may be a trick. I must make sure. I'll nudge him. He didn't move. Didn't move at all. He is asleep. This is the moment I've been waiting for. The boat on the shore. Phineas asleep. That means escape. Escape. Follow me. Elisha, why do you wait? Why don't you come with me? Our time is short. Our opportunity is now. Come.
Demas, you go.
But I can't leave you here.
If you go now, you go alone. I can't leave you. Can't leave any man to die.
But I told you it's too dangerous for 3 men. Besides, why should you think of him? He's a thief, a murderer if need be.
I couldn't do many men to death here, alone, deserted. I couldn't do that and face the master again.
If you don't come with me now, you may never have the chance again.
I know. Still, I can't desert him. You must understand. Deep inside you there is the same spirit. Else why didn't you take his gold and leave me?
Because you're my friend.
He can be your friend, too. Our friend.
The boat is not built for 3 men. The water's treacherous.
I cannot leave him.
You really won't leave him, will you?
No, Demas.
I see. Well, then I must take the risk with you. All right, we'll wake him. We'll try to make it with him, the 3 of us. And trust to God to bring us through to safety.
Demas, the way you maneuvered an overloaded boat in that swirling water, it was an experience to watch it, to be part of it. I know now what you meant about having to know the sea.
Soon, Phineas, if you keep an eye there, in that direction, you'll soon see the first green cliffs of Cyprus.
We're that close now?
We are.
Elisha.
Yes, Phineas?
You heard. Land soon. Very soon.
I know.
Why didn't you leave me there? On the island. You could have. I was asleep. Didn't even wake when you first shook me. You could have taken the gold, too, and I never would have known. Why didn't you just leave me?
I couldn't.
Yes, I know. That's why there's something I must give you. Here.
The pouch of gold.
Yes. I want to give it back to you. And I ask for no bargain to be made this time. It's yours.
It's not so much of a treasure anymore, is it?
No. Since we've been on this boat, in the dangerous moments when I thought it would capsize, I realized that you and Demas could have made this voyage in safety without me. Instead, you risked your lives to take me with you. And then I realized gold wasn't such a treasure after all. It couldn't buy me food or water or rescue or even life itself.
I'm glad you know that now.
Maybe I could change. Maybe a thief could find a new life. In the master's words, there is time to change, isn't there?
There is, son. And maybe those words of the master's are a good place to begin, if you seek to change.
Lay up for yourselves treasures in heaven, where neither moth nor rust doth corrupt, and where thieves do not break through nor steal. For where your treasure is, there will your heart be also.
The greatest story ever told. Tonight we present Let Your Light Shine, a drama based on a teaching from the greatest life ever lived. Through the narrow streets of the town of Emmaus in Galilee, two men walk hurriedly this afternoon. But as they pass a ragged street urchin, they are surprised when they hear his frightened, timid voice cry out,
Sir! Is he addressing us, Samuel? Well, I shouldn't think so. I don't know him. I've even seen him before.
Well, I certainly haven't.
Sirs, please.
There's no doubt now he is talking to us. Seems to want something.
Well, then I'll find out. All right, boy. What is it? What do you want?
Sir, the smallest coin you have. Could you spare it?
Well, did you hear that? Not more than 10 years old and already a beggar. Come along, Samuel. Don't encourage him.
Wait. Abner seems hungry and afraid. And now, lad, how does it happen that you're begging?
I'm hungry.
I didn't mean that. I meant, who takes care of you? Where's your family?
Family? Maybe I'd better go.
No, boy, don't go. You don't have to be afraid of me.
The way he trembles.
Yes, I can see. I'll get to the bottom of this. Tell me, boy, where do you live? What street? I'll take you home.
But, sir, I have no home.
Come now, you must live someplace.
No, sir.
He's still afraid. I'll have to make him know we're trying to help him. Now, son, listen to me. We won't harm you. Just tell us where you live, and we'll take you home.
Please, sir. I told you I have no home.
The boy's too evasive. I think he lies.
I never lie.
Then what do you mean you have no place to live?
My mother, my father, both dead. I had no family in the town where I lived. So I took work as a water boy to camels in a caravan. But I didn't do the work so well. They said I was too small, too weak. The caravan passed through here and left me.
Just cut you adrift.
Yes, sir. 2 days ago.
And what have you lived on since?
Sir, I'm hungry.
I see. Well, this is more serious than I thought. Look, lad, a coin won't do you any good.
Please, sir, I'm hungry.
A coin might keep you fed for today, but what of tomorrow and the days after that? I know what you need.
What, sir?
I'm going to take you to the town elder right now.
No!
Now, boy, don't try to run away. You'll only be doing yourself harm in the long run. Come with me.
That's right, Samuel. This is a matter for the town to take care of. We should take him to the elder.
Give me a hand, boy. There we are. We'll take care of you. Come along now.
Sir, what will they do to me?
What needs doing? The elder will apprentice you out to a farmer or a tradesman. You'll earn your board and keep.
Will they beat me?
No, of course not.
They did when I worked in the caravan, and they'll do it again. They'll do it again.
No. Now hold still and just come along peacefully. This is the best thing for you.
They won't beat me. I won't let them.
Wait, lad.
He's got away.
Boy, come back here. Come back.
Gone. Turned that corner and disappeared.
Too bad. Well, there's only one thing to do. Go to the elder and tell him that boy's loose in the town. It's the elder's responsibility now to find him and put him out to work so he can be taken care of.
Mother, you said Father would be here by now. You promised.
I know, Rebecca. He said he'd leave the marketplace in time to be home and have the evening meal early, so we could all go to the olive grove and hear the master.
He didn't forget, did he?
Of course not. Your father's a good man. Not one to forget an important thing like this. There, that must be Father now.
Sarah, you ready? And the children?
Ready, dear, all of us just waiting for you.
Well, then we should leave at once.
But the evening meal. You haven't eaten.
What's enough that you and the children have? I shall have mine later when we return. The important thing is to get there before the teaching begins.
Yes, dear. Rebecca, find your sister and brother. Tell them Father is here and we're ready to leave.
Yes, Mother.
Samuel, you promised you'd leave the marketplace early.
But I did.
And arrived home only now?
Well, something happened on the way.
Trouble?
A ragged beggar boy about 10 years old, I'd say. He stopped Abner and me. Very pathetic. Alone here in Emmaus, no family, no friends.
Oh. He must have been hungry.
Oh, yes. Cast off by a caravan and without food for 2 days.
Something should be done for him.
Exactly what I said. And so I started to take him to the elder, but the lad was terrified. He broke away and disappeared. But naturally, I had to stop at the house of Nathan, the town elder. I told him all about it. He'll be on the lookout for the lad. Said they'd find him by tomorrow, at least.
What about tonight? Where will he sleep?
How should I know? Well, now, we must hurry, else we won't get to the olive grove in time to hear the master teach.
But that boy...
Please, Sarah, if the children are ready, we should set out at once.
Surely someone should do something about him.
It's not our problem, but one for the town. I've talked to the elder. That's all I can do. Now, if we want to hear the master, we must leave at once.
Yes, Samuel.
Now, Rebecca, I'll hold you up. There. Can you see the master now?
Master. Father. I can see him. I can see him.
Samuel.
What is it, dear?
That boy you told me about.
Forget it. I told you I've done everything I can.
What will the town elder do with him if he finds him tomorrow?
Put him out to work. That's the way those things are always done.
I wonder...
Please, Sarah, you must be quiet now. The master's going to speak.
Ye are the light of the world. A city that is set on a hill cannot be hid.
Father, a city set on a hill. What does that...
Child, just listen.
Neither do men light a candle and put it under a bushel, but on a candlestick, and it giveth light unto all that are in the house. Let your light so shine before men, that they may see your good works, and glorify your Father, which is in heaven.
Samuel, these words are meant for us. And because they are, I'm uneasy.
Uneasy? Why?
We can't talk about it now. We'll disturb the others. But later, after the teaching is finished, when we return home...
Sarah, I could tell while you were bathing the children, putting them to bed, there was something on your mind. Now that we're alone, can you tell me?
That boy.
Again? Now, Sarah, be reasonable.
I'm thinking of a frightened little boy who's wandering the streets of this town with no place to sleep. And we let it happen.
We? Well, it's not our fault. I did what I had to.
The boy is still alone, with no place to rest his head.
Well, what did you expect me to do? Bring him home here?
Why not?
A boy we didn't know, allow him to mingle with our children?
You talk as though the boy's a bad boy. How can you judge? You only saw him for a few moments.
Oh, please, Sarah, I did my duty when I started to take him to the elder. If he'd gone with me, he'd have been fed. I did the proper thing.
Did you? The boy appealed to you for help.
It's the town's responsibility to provide for him in some way, to see that he's fed, clothed, has a place to sleep. They have ways of taking care of such children.
Samuel, will they give him love, too?
Love? What's that to do with it?
There are things the boy needs as much as food. Who'll give him love? Who'll read Scripture to him so he may gain knowledge and wisdom? Maybe you should have brought him here.
What?
To live with us.
But we have children of our own, Sarah. We have responsibilities toward them. This boy is a stranger. The authorities have been notified. Let them act. Now it's time to get to sleep.
No, Samuel.
But you can't stay up all night.
No, could I sleep for thinking about that boy?
What's done is done.
Samuel, what the Master said about letting your light shine before men to glorify our Father who is in heaven. Didn't it mean anything to you?
Of course, I thought about it on the way home. I've nothing to be ashamed of. I live decently, honestly, charitably, within my means, of course.
Are we glorifying God now by allowing one of his children to wander the streets like a stray dog? Are we letting our light shine before others when we shirk our responsibility by saying it belongs to the town, to the authorities?
Responsibility? What makes it our responsibility?
We follow the Master. We believe ourselves to be children of God. Then it's our responsibility to act his way. That's what the Master meant. So when the boy appealed to you for help, that put it up to you. That made it your responsibility.
Sarah, I'm sorry. Perhaps I did do the wrong thing, but now it's too late.
That's too easy to say, Samuel.
All right, I'll see the town elder first thing tomorrow.
No. We must find that boy tonight.
Are you mad, Sarah? Find the boy at this hour of the night?
I won't rest till we find him. You see, I'd keep thinking. Suppose it were one of our children. Rebecca or David or Jonathan. And then I just couldn't sleep.
What, to search the streets?
Samuel, please.
Well, if you feel that strongly about it, there'll be no rest for either of us till we find him. All right. Come, Sarah. We'll go searching. We've covered half the town already, dear.
There's still the other half.
What makes you think we can never find him?
We'll do our best.
In all probability, someone else took him in.
It would be very easy to turn back now believing that. Only I couldn't believe it. Not till I knew.
Then you'll keep on.
Yes, Samuel.
And what about our children left alone there at the house?
They're safe. Don't worry. There are no thieves in this town.
Then, we continue.
Yes. If he's not on this street.
Then he's nowhere in town. We've covered every other street.
I wonder, did he leave town? Was he frightened by what you told him about appearing before the town elder? Where do you suppose he is now? Hiding somewhere in the fields outside of town, terrified and trembling.
Now you're letting your imagination run away with you.
Don't you realize if we don't find him at the end of this street, then he's no place where we can help him?
Yes, I know.
Wait. I thought I saw a figure slip out of a doorway down there.
Oh, come, we'll find out. I must say, I didn't see anything.
Perhaps if we called out to him.
And wake everyone on the street?
If we were so close to him and didn't find him, I'd never forgive myself.
Well, dear, here we are.
Yes. The end of the street. And no boy.
You said he might have run away from the town.
All right, Samuel. I guess we won't ever find him. We might as well go home again.
Feel this way, Sarah.
At least we tried.
Yes.
Soon it will be light out.
A whole night wasted searching for that boy. We'll never see him again.
Even if we don't, it wasn't wasted. We tried. We tried.
Sarah.
What is it, dear?
The door of our house. Look.
Yes?
We latched it before we left, didn't we?
I remember we did.
And now it's open.
The children. We must see if anything's wrong. Quickly.
Do you think anyone could have seen us go out? Do you think there are thieves?
We must find out. I'll swing the door wide.
No. Wait. If there's anyone in there, we mustn't frighten him into doing something desperate. We must think of the children. Shh. Oh, wait. I'll do it.
The door.
Shh. Who's there? Who is it?
Daniel. A child. And he cries.
David?
No, that's no child of ours. Quickly, Samuel, the lamp lighted.
Yes.
Now, son, don't be afraid. We won't harm you.
You won't get a chance.
No, child. Don't try to run away.
Let me go. Let go of
No,
me.
please, boy. Don't try to run away. Samuel, the lamp.
There, here it is.
Hold it close to him. Samuel. Is this the boy?
Yes. But wait. What's this he has under that dirty coat of his?
No. Don't touch me.
Here, let me see.
No.
What you're hiding there belongs to this house, doesn't it? Well, doesn't it?
Let go of me.
Wait, Samuel. Now, son, let me see what you have hidden there.
He's a thief. And you wanted me to bring him home to let him live with our children.
Samuel, please, you're not helping by talking that way. Come, son. Let me see what it is.
All right. Here.
Oh. Look, Samuel. Bread.
Bread? Is that all? Are you sure?
See for yourself.
Well, if he'd come with me to the elder, he wouldn't have had to steal. I tried to help you, boy, and now you repay me by robbing me. You steal.
I was afraid what you said about the town elder. I thought other people who saw me would feel the same way. So I hid till it was dark. And when it was dark, I looked for a house where I could get some bread without being caught. I found this one.
Well, there's no choice for us now, Sarah. You see what kind of a boy this is.
What are you going to do?
I shall take him to the elder myself now.
No, please, no.
We can't have him stay here now.
Samuel, wait.
I've decided, Sarah. Anything we may have said about this boy before is all changed now. I'm taking him along with me.
Then at least wait a little while.
What for?
After all, he still hasn't eaten. The loaf of bread is still whole. We have some other food left, too. Let me feed him first.
All right. If you want to.
I do. Come, son.
Look at him eat.
Almost 3 days. That's what he said. 3 days without food.
Yes. Well, he'll be better off where he's going.
Don't say that.
It's the truth. He won't go hungry.
Now you've frightened him. He's stopped eating. What is it, son?
Please, woman, what you said, what he said. Where am I going? What will they do to me?
You'll be provided for. Probably they'll apprentice you to a farmer. You'll never go hungry again.
A farmer? Who?
Well, we don't know. It depends on what the town elder decides.
Don't worry about it now, lad. Just eat. Finish your food.
I'm not hungry anymore.
But half the food's left.
I don't want to eat.
I see.
Well, if he's done eating, it's time for us to leave. And besides, it's already dawn. I won't feel so guilty about waking the elder now. Come, lad. Well?
Samuel,
What is it now?
Samuel, look at him. Dirty face, shabby clothes.
There are no rich beggars, my dear.
But if we could clean him up before you took him to the elder, it might make a better impression. Might make him find a better master for the boy.
Clean him up now? It's dawn. You've been up all night.
I could bathe him before you took him away.
But you've already bathed 3 children.
Then one more can't be so much, can it?
And what about water?
The well is full. If you don't want to draw the water, I will.
No. You're doing enough as it is. I'll get it. But then I take him back, remember.
Come here, lad.
Yes?
Let me see your coat. Oh, torn. We should fix it.
What will they do to me?
I don't know.
Is it very bad? I mean, where I'm going?
I don't know. Here, let me take off your coat. Oh, the way you're shaking. Perhaps you're cold. Let me hold you close to me. There. Isn't that better?
My mother. She used to hold me this way. But no more. No more.
You mustn't cry. You mustn't cry.
Sarah,
Quiet, Samuel.
Well, I have the water. You said you wanted to bathe it.
I know. Put the pitcher down quietly.
Oh, I see. He's asleep in your arms.
Yes. He began to cry, and he was tired. I guess he just cried himself to sleep.
Well, you better wake him up and bathe him so I can take him with me to the elder.
Wake him now. He's just fallen asleep.
Well, you can't just sit there holding him for hours till he wakes.
But he's so tired.
Now, Sarah, please be reasonable.
By being what you call reasonable, you turned him into a thief.
Sarah, that's no way to talk.
Look at him the way he sleeps. Innocent as a child has a right to be. Would you tell me now that he's a bad boy?
He looks like a nice lad.
Yes. And because we didn't take him in and feed him, because he was frightened of what would happen to him, he became desperate. You see, it was our fault.
Well, now you must wake him and bathe him. I have to take him soon.
Only a little while.
A little while.
If we give the child an hour of peaceful sleep, is that so much?
No.
Then let him be.
You know, Sarah, when you look at him from this side, he bears quite a resemblance to our David. Did you notice that?
Yes, I saw.
Then I suppose all children look alike in some ways, don't they?
Children are all alike in some ways.
What do you mean?
They need more than bread or clothes or a bed to sleep in. They need love.
It's too bad they can't all have it then.
This one could.
Sarah, you're not thinking that...
Why not, Samuel?
Well, I don't know why not. It's just that... Well, it's not our responsibility.
Isn't it, Samuel?
You mean... Let your light so shine before men?
That's right. If we are God's children, then we must do good. A father is glorified by the actions of his children. So our Father, who is God, is glorified by our actions. To do that, we must help those who turn to us. We must face responsibility and not shirk it by glibly saying, others will do it.
This is the 4th child in our home.
You'll never notice, Samuel. Enough food for us can be enough for him, too.
He looks so peaceful sleeping there as though he belonged in your arms.
I think he does belong there. Well, Samuel?
Well, if you don't think it would wake him, I'll lift him and place him in bed. Our bed.
Would you, Samuel?
Yes. There. I have him.
He's not such a burden, is he?
No, dear. And an even lighter burden when I think of those words we heard the Master say.
Ye are the light of the world. A city that is set on a hill cannot be hid. Neither do men light a candle and put it under a bushel, but on a candlestick, and it giveth light unto all that are in the house. Let your light so shine before men, that they may see your good works and glorify your Father, which is in heaven.
Have been listening to Let Your Light Shine, another episode in the greatest story ever told, from the greatest life ever lived.